Oh boy. Here's the thumbnail. Alright, hey up everyone. Okay, so it's doing the same thing as A Night at SMG4, where it's showing the thumbnail of the video in the premiere. So this is what the premiere looks like. And yep, up in October 19th, you know, the usual, in 23 hours, Wotfi is here, and Mr. Puzzles has turned into a literal theme park. Yep, there's still no SMG4 at the start of the title, and it also says, wait, what? This Wotfi is gonna be there, pretty different. Pretty different? What's it gonna do differently? Because it's doing the challenges like it's what it's done throughout the entirety of Wotfi's history, aside from 2023. What's it gonna do differently? SMG4 merch, no leak this time. Ah, you cheeky boys. You cheeky boys. Alright, so this is gonna be interesting, all of this. I can't really get a clear picture due to the notification screen. Due to this thing right here. But yeah, we've got something here. Alright, so this is basically gonna be my final predictions for the Wotfi, basically. Because what else am I meant to theorize? We haven't got a jack all for ages. Alright, so now that we've got the thumbnail and the whole video thing is now here, without the video itself, we're going to be analyzing two images here. Not the thumbnail, because usually when it comes to thumbnails, they don't exactly show as much. They're just thumbnails, alright? They don't exactly show anything from the episode. So, starting off with the description. The description here, the part that I'm interested in, is that it says that this Wotfi will be pretty different. Pretty different, eh? That sounds odd. Because 2023 was definitely different. It was obvious, but because of the fact that it wasn't doing challenges and it was doing a live stream instead. But this Wotfi is kind of different. At least for the Puzzle Vision saga, because, well, first off, no live stream for it, and barely any posts teasing it, because they've been very close to basically, they've been very cryptic with this Wotfi in terms of teasers, because they don't normally not give us this many teasers, really. It's really weird. So what could they mean by it being different? Well, there's a few things. One, the layout is a bit different. Maybe it's like the Meme Games 2022, where they had, like, the introduction to every challenge sort of thing, but they normally do it with challenges anyway, so... Oh, another thing is that the Mr. Puzzles might win. He might actually win this. It sounds crazy, because knowing SMG4 plots, the good guys tend to always win. We know this, and I normally only theorize about the presentation of these episodes, but this could be pretty interesting. Maybe the villain wins for once. We haven't really had a villain ever win before. Like, ever. No one's ever won in terms of villains. So, yeah, that could be an interesting thought. And it's also something that many others have said. Or maybe the way it ends could also be different. Maybe, like, the finale is a bit longer, but given the Wotfi's runtime, which we actually know, from what I've seen, it's like 31 minutes, which is not that long, but given Wotfi's normally, it's actually the second longest Wotfi behind 2023. Well, the Puzzle Vision sagas really are got quite the lengthy movies, don't they? It's got the record for both of the longest Wotfis ever, but that's aside the point. But anyway, so I don't think they're gonna exactly be like that long with the finale or anything like that, since that doesn't give much room for the challenges. And it could be different just because they use the website for the challenges submissions and not stuff like Twitter or anything like that, but I doubt that. There's definitely something in here, especially with the way that, you know, all the editors have been teasing the Wotfi. And by the way, the whole, like, bells thing that, like, Shadow and Ben are constantly talking about, I'm pretty sure that's just the ominous bell meme that has been going around, so there's not really much I can noteworthy off on that. And most of the time, Ben and Shadow, in terms of teasers and that, are mostly just joking around, especially Ben. And for Anaden, well, all of Anaden's lore teasers have all been about the Shadow Man, and again, we're not talking about him for a little while, until eventually he comes up again, which we'll yap about. But yeah, that's all of that. Now, another thing I want to say is that when you go over to the merch page at the bottom of the description, it says that like the little cover image that it shows like all the new merch and that is actually covered. It's censored, saying that the merch won't be leaked this time, which is weird because like they've like never done that. I think they did it for Digital Circus episode 3, but I'm not sure. I was only told about that and I haven't seen it for myself. But yeah, most of the time you get to see what the merch is. Like for Puzzle Vision, we got to know that Mr. Puzzle's got a plushie, before the movie came out. And I think it was the same with the Meme Factory as well. But, now it's censored. Why is that? Well, maybe it's because it's hiding something. Maybe the merch has like got to do something with like a lore reveal or something like that. Maybe within the Wotfi, and so they have to hide it just to make sure people don't get spoiled of that surprise or anything like that. But it's honestly hard to tell because it could just be, anything else. Maybe they just don't want to show the merch off yet. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Well, that's all I really got for that part. Now, remember when Anaden tweeted about that thing where one of the scenes that he worked on gives him chills? Honestly, that could actually relate to the description a bit, how the Wotfi feels different. Maybe, again, that could work into the idea that the Wotfi will have like an intermission section where they have a little break from the challenges to do something halfway through before, the second set of challenges and then the finale. Maybe that's what Nader was on about. Maybe he is on about like a middle section that he worked on and that it's, pretty chilling. What this means again, we don't know. This Wotfi has the potential to do quite a lot. But now, it's time for me to predict it. Trying to think about what could possibly go down in this Wotfi. So, to begin, we start off the Wotfi with Mario and SMG4 heading off into the engine room, like what they did with the preview at the end of the previous episode. Not the trailer. I mean, technically the trailer too and all that, but yeah. But yeah, and so they see the absolute sight that is what Mr. Puzzles has become, who apparently, according to the description, has become a literal theme park at this point. And so now he grabs him by like the wires and that, and he drags him over to somewhere. Where? Well, that's probably the place that he's hosting all the challenges. Because now that we now know, obviously, that last Saturday was not another SMG4 episode, sadly, that means that theory was definitely wrong. This could mean that the whole weird world thing with all the mushrooms with eyes and the TVs with clocks and all that weirdness that SMG4 Mario saw, maybe this is where the challenges are. Maybe they get thrown in there into a portal or something like that. And then after that, we get a title card, perhaps. Or maybe Mr. Puzzles might say something beforehand and not just laughter, but you know what he's like. So we might get the title card, War the Fat Italians 2024. We might even get a hand-drawn poster this time. Who knows? Who do? And so moving on. We then move on to the first set of challenges, where a few, like half of the cast that went to Puzzle Park will be dealing with a challenge. I think it's like every single character is dealing with a challenge. And they're all going to be more grim, because the grim setting that this Wotfi has, instead of them all just being goofy challenges. And all of that, given also with the website that says to torture his Mr. Puzzles' guests. After that, we get a midway segment with, I don't know which characters could get involved with this midway segment. Maybe like, again, a character that breaks out of the challenges and that. And then we encounter Leggy. And Leggy acts as like a mini boss of some kind. So maybe this might be its own challenge, like a major challenge where, again, they have to fight Leggy and stuff like that. Maybe to try and get to her senses and turn back into Meggy, which probably is not going to happen at the midway point, but something might happen. And this might be the chilling scene that Anaden was talking about. And after this midway scene, we get a little something else, but right before we get to the next challenges. And that's the stake increase, where more people are coming to Puzzle Park, whether by kidnapping or just simple advertisement, they're all coming to Puzzle Park. And this is where Mr. Puzzles initiates chaos mode, is what I would call it. And absolute hell reigns loose within the park. with a bunch of, like, you know, all the amusement stuff and all of that coming to life and kidnapping more people and shoving them into more of the torturous things and all of that. Maybe it's just one big trap or something like that. That's a possibility, but I'm not gonna dig on it thinking it's gonna be 100% what's gonna happen. Obviously, these are just predictions, I don't know. But anyway, after that devastating sight that we get, we go back to the rest of the characters who have to do more of the challenges and all of that stuff. So they have to go through all of that and probably have to avoid Mr. Puzzles on the way as well, because maybe he's going to be engaging in this a lot, hopefully. And then after that, all the characters break out or something like that. Maybe Mario, like a character like Mario breaks them out or something like that. Like a group of some of the characters like group up and try to escape the hell they have now been plonked into. And after that is the finale. They all encounter Mr. Puzzles once again, and it's the final showdown. So maybe this will be like a boss title where Mr. Puzzles, you know, does stuff like that. He turns into the final boss, if you will. And they begin duking it out at the start, you know, with the dialogues, dramaticness, all of that bombeless stuff. Maybe Leggy is fighting with Mr. Puzzles, if Leggy hasn't already turned back into Meggy at this point. And then, after a little while, the rap battle begins. And we all know what's going to happen here. It's gonna be an absolute banger. Hopefully, it is an absolute banger. But yeah, so that's how I think it's probably going to go with that. With the rap battle starting off, going through, and all of that stuff. And then it ends. Perhaps this might be where the engine room now begins exploding. And everything's all falling apart. Mr. Puzzle's obviously stuck in the engine room, so he's primarily fucked. And all of that. So they all try to escape. And everything's all fine and dandy. With Puzzle Park now in pieces and Diddly World being no more. Until the very end, where we see the rubble that is Puzzle Park, and a hand rises up. But this hand is very broken. A very broken hand that is and you can hear a very, very loud growl. Or maybe just a growl in general to show that Mr. Puzzles, it has had it for real. He's lost for the third time now. And the next time he comes around, he's gonna make sure every single character undergoes through hell. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna give you, folks. I'm gonna hopefully make another video on Saturday before the Wotfi airs, just to do a last bit of theorizing on stuff, and then we'll just have to wait until this beast comes out. Ta-ta! Okay, one last thing. SMG4 did make a new post today, and I'm just gonna have a quick look for it since knowing post. This is just another teaser image, and it looks pretty cool, honestly. We get to see another look at how, you know, what Mr. Puzzles is doing and all of that. Although the engine, I've noticed, it looks a bit different than what it should be. Honestly, it does look a bit different from what we saw in, you know, in the arc itself, in the actual episodes. But also, this is like reinforcing the idea that perhaps more people will be coming to Puzzle Park, that rather than just the main SMG4 crew. And again, I'm not entirely sure what they'll be doing. Either they'll be thrown into the torturous challenges, or they'll be all, you know, just oblivious to what's going on until something like all hell breaks loose or something like that. But then again, there's not really much I can really say now because I've already said all my stuff and all of that. So yeah, there you go. It's a cool image. It is a really cool image, honestly. And oh dear, got 17 hours and 20 minutes to go. Right, I'll see you all when the Wotfi comes out. Ta-ta, for real this time.